The sharp sound of a slap echoed through the small, poorly lit restaurant. Monica stumbled forward, almost losing her balance. Her cheeks stung, her vision blurred with shock and humiliation. The entire room fell silent for a second, as if even the ceiling fan stopped spinning just to witness the disgrace. 3 young men sat near the window, their flashy suits doing little to cover the ugliness of their behavior. One had just slapped Monica's backside as she turned away from taking their orders. Another had yanked her long hair with such force she almost fell. Now they sat grinning like they'd just won a game. Their voices rang out like poison. "Poor waitress," Jonathan sneered. "You're not even strong enough for this job. That is the truth." Ika joined in with a smirk. "How will you now satisfy customers that want extra service in the private rooms?" "Huh!" Their laughter roared through the restaurant again. Monica was still on the floor, stunned. The tray had crashed beside her. Her hair was messy, her knees scraped. But worse than all that was the feeling in her chest, the deep ache. She wasn't angry yet. She was heartbroken. And then it got worse. From behind the counter, Madame Madonna, the restaurant owner, snapped. "Will you get up and stop embarrassing this place? Monica, customers are always right. Or are you too weak for this $30 job, too?" The words cut deeper than the slap. But just as Monica tried to rise, her eyes caught someone standing slowly from a corner table. A man in a brown checkered shirt with glasses and kind eyes. He had been quietly eating alone. Now his face was tight with fury. "Madam," he said calmly, "you can't be serious. You just saw what they did to her." "Mr. Maxwell, or whatever your name is," Adana said, waving her hand. "Please don't bring sentiment into business. This is a restaurant, not a court." Maxwell ignored her and walked toward Monica. He bent down, offered his hand, and gently helped her up. His voice was firm yet soft. "Are you all right?" Monica nodded weakly. Her lips trembled. She still hadn't said a word. "Touch her again." Maxwell turned to the men. "And you'll leave this place in cuffs." The young men rolled their eyes. "Look at this broke hero," David snorted, trying to impress a waitress. But Maxwell didn't flinch. He helped Monica to her seat and gave her a bottle of water. "You don't have to stay here," he told her gently. "This isn't your only option." She gave him a long look. Something in his tone made her believe him. And then, just before leaving, the young men decided to throw one last insult. Jonathan leaned in with a fake smile. "In case you both broke people care to know, we're petrochemical engineers. We work for Williams Oil and Gas Abuja headquarters. You're not even in our league." They walked out, leaving behind a storm of silence. What they didn't know, what nobody in that restaurant knew, was that Monica Williams, the poor waitress, was the only daughter of Chief Williams Benjamin, the billionaire CEO of the same Williams Oil and Gas. She could buy the restaurant they sat in 10 times over. She could fire every one of those boys with a single phone call. But she didn't. She just sat there quietly sipping the water Maxwell gave her, and smiled. Monica Williams was born with everything money could buy. Private tutors, diamond necklaces before her 10th birthday. Her face graced tabloids. She had traveled to over 20 countries before she turned 18. Her father, Chief Williams Benjamin, was one of the wealthiest oil magnates in West Africa. But at age 30, Monica cried herself to sleep more often than not. Behind the designer clothes and flashy cars was a lonely heart. A heart that had been lied to, used, and tossed aside. Every man who claimed to love her wanted one thing: her money, her status, her family name. No one ever saw her, just the wealth around her. So, one night, she packed a small bag, she changed her hair, wore old clothes, and left her mansion. Her heart ached, but her mind was made up. She needed to know. Could someone love her if they didn't know who she really was? The next morning, she walked into a struggling restaurant on the outskirts of Abuja. She told Madame Adana she needed a job. Anything. Adana didn't look up. "Can you clean?" "Yes, ma." "Can you carry trays?" "Yes, ma." $30 a month. "No sleeping here. You're not allowed to eat customer leftovers. And if you're late, I deduct $10. You still want it?" Monica nodded. Adana looked up, surprised. She stared at the girl with long hair and soft eyes. She didn't look like someone who needed this job, but she shrugged. "Wear this apron and start now." And just like that, the heir to a billion-dollar empire became a waitress with no last name. In the following days, Monica faced it all. Shouting, insults, spills, burns, rude customers, and aching feet. Adana never stopped yelling. "Monica, you forgot to say sir to that customer. You are too slow. Maybe this job is not for you." You broke the glass. That's $5 from your pay. Each word cut her down, but Monica swallowed every insult. She kept her head low because her mission was simple: to see the world through the eyes of the poor, and to find love that had nothing to do with status. She cleaned the toilets, she wiped tables, she smiled through pain. Every night she went back to a small room she rented and stared at a picture of her parents. Her mother had cried when she told them her plan. "You will be in danger, Monica." Her father refused to speak to her for 2 days, but eventually they gave in under one condition. She had to stay in touch through a private line. Her father hired private security to keep watch from a distance. She never knew they were there. He didn't want his only child harmed. And still the days dragged. Nothing exciting happened until Maxwell showed up. That same evening after the incident, Maxwell walked Monica to her rented room. "I'm sorry you had to go through that today," he said. Monica smiled a little. "I've gone through worse." He paused. "I'd like to do something for you. I don't have much, but I can help you get into a tech program. I teach robotics. I've seen how smart and polite you are. You don't deserve to be in that place." Monica looked up at him, genuinely touched. "No one has ever offered me help without asking something in return," she whispered. "Well," Maxwell said with a chuckle, "I'm not like most people." They shared a laugh, and silence followed. It was a good kind of silence. He gently asked for her number, and she gave it. Before leaving, Maxwell turned. "Please resign. I'll help you find a better place." "I will," she said. "Tomorrow," Monica said. That night, Maxwell couldn't sleep. He called her. "I know it's late," he said softly, "but I had to say it. I think I like you a lot." Monica's heart skipped. "I'm just a poor girl, Maxwell," she whispered. "No degree, no future. That's not what I see. I see someone smart, strong, someone worth every effort." Tears welled up in Monica's eyes. She finally spoke. "Pick me up tomorrow. I got a new cleaning job at the Williams mansion. Come get me there. Let's start fresh." The next morning, Maxwell dressed in his best shirt. He arrived at the mansion and nervously told the gatekeeper, "I'm here to see Monica. She works here." The guard smiled. "Ah, madam, Monica," she said. "You were coming. Please go in. She's in the sitting room." Maxwell froze. "Madam, sitting room." As he walked in, nothing could prepare him for what he saw. Monica sat on a velvet couch, sipping orange juice from a crystal glass. Her pajamas looked more expensive than his entire wardrobe. Her hair was tied neatly in a royal bun. She looked like someone from a magazine cover. Maxwell blinked. "Monica." Before she could speak, Chief Williams entered with his wife. The moment he saw Maxwell, he walked up to him with a warm handshake. "Welcome, Mr. Maxwell. Monica told us about you. We've looked into your tech work. It's impressive." Maxwell's jaw dropped. Monica stood up, her voice calm, elegant, and proud. "You're wondering what's going on, right?" She smiled. "I'm Monica Williams, the only daughter of Chief Williams, Benjamin, heir of the Williams Empire. I went undercover to find something money can't buy, and I found you." Maxwell couldn't speak. Tears rolled down his face. Yesterday, he defended a waitress. Today, he stood before royalty. And Monica was no longer the poor girl. She was the woman he loved. Maxwell sat frozen, the weight of Monica's truth pressing down like 1,000 bricks. The giant chandelier above them twinkled. The smell of lavender and luxury floated in the air. But Maxwell felt like the floor might give way beneath him. Monica, now standing, walked over and held his hand. Her touch was calm, reassuring. "I didn't lie to hurt you," she said gently. "I wanted to find someone who could see me for me. Not the company, not the wealth, not the name or fame." Chief Williams stepped forward with a knowing smile. "Believe me, young man, I tried to stop her from doing this undercover poor girl experiment, but it turns out she was right. She found something priceless." Maxwell glanced down, still overwhelmed. I'm just a robotics teacher. I live in a 2-bedroom flat. I have student debt. I don't belong here." Chief Williams chuckled. "Maxwell, wealth doesn't make someone belong. Integrity does." Monica knelt beside him, took his hands in hers. "You made me feel seen, protected, even when I was nothing but a low-paid waitress. That's all I ever wanted. Then I'm all in." Monica wasted no time. She asked her father for a quiet favor. At the Williams Oil and Gas Abuja headquarters, a formal HR email went out. Jonathan Uch David Bello and Amicia Johnson report to the executive floor at 11 o'clock a.m. sharp. The 3 young men were already laughing in the break room. "Bro, last night's party was mad," Jonathan boasted. There are some fine girls there. Unlike that clumsy waitress. David leaned back. I still can't believe that idiot Maxwell defended her. Waste of a man. Amita smirked. Broke guys always fall for broke girls. They're a perfect match. At 10:55 a.m., they strutted into the executive lobby, laughing. But the moment they stepped into the meeting room, their laughter died. Sitting at the head of the table was Chief Williams himself, and beside him, Monica, dressed elegantly. She looked nothing like the waitress they humiliated. She wore a fitted navy moose suit, diamond earrings, and a cold, unreadable expression. Her posture alone screamed power. "Good morning, gentlemen," Chief Williams said evenly. "Good morning, sir," they stammered. David's voice cracked. "Are we being promoted?" Chief Williams raised a brow. "Do you remember a certain waitress you harassed at a restaurant last week?" Jonathan chuckled nervously. "I mean, maybe. A lot of girls serve us." Monica's lips curled slightly. "So, I wasn't memorable." They all froze. "You," Amicia whispered. The waitress was," she replied calmly. "Now, I'm your boss." The room spun. Chief Williams' voice turned stern. "My daughter went undercover to experience real life. What she found instead was abuse, disrespect, and shame brought on by people representing this company." Jonathan dropped his phone. "We're sorry," David stuttered. "We didn't know." "You shouldn't need to know someone's status to treat them like a human being," Monica snapped. Chief Williams nodded. "Effective immediately. Your appointments are terminated." "Please, sir, please," they cried, falling to their knees. Monica stood and looked at them without emotion. "This isn't revenge. This is consequence." Security entered, and just like that, the young men were escorted out, their laughter replaced with tears. Back at the Williams mansion, Madame Madonna stood at the gate in an old wrapper, her eyes puffy from crying. She clutched her hands like a schoolgirl caught stealing. The guards were about to turn her away when Monica stepped outside. Adana dropped to her knees immediately. "My daughter, please. I had no idea it was you. If I had known, that's the problem." "Madame Adana," Monica cut in, voice calm, but sharp. "Why should you need to know who someone is before treating them with basic respect?" Adana sobbed. "I'm sorry, I was wrong. I was wicked. I didn't mean it." Monica's mother stepped beside her, placing a hand on her daughter's shoulder. "Monica, forgiveness is more powerful than punishment." Monica sighed, then knelt down. "You taught me something, Madame Madonna. You taught me how the poor are truly treated. You were the mirror I didn't want to see, and maybe that's why I don't hate you." Adana's hands trembled. "So, you forgive me?" "I forgive you," Monica said. "But change how you treat people, even if they have holes in their clothes." "Yes, I swear." "Thank you," Adana cried. Monica helped her up. Sometimes forgiveness makes more noise than revenge ever can. 1 week later, Monica and Maxwell stood on the rooftop of her father's mansion, gazing over the city lights. She wore a soft, flowing gown. He wore a modest button-up shirt. He looked at her like she was the only thing in the world. "I feel like I'm dreaming," he whispered. "You're not," she smiled. "This is real." Maxwell took a deep breath. "Monica, I want to walk this life with you. Whether you're a waitress or a billionaire, whether we live in a mansion or a mini-flat, I just want you." He dropped to one knee. Monica gasped, her hand flying to her mouth. "I may not have a diamond ring right now, but I have a diamond heart. Will you marry me?" Tears streamed down her cheeks. "Yes, 1,000,000 times, yes." From the shadows, her parents clapped, her father's eyes secretly wet with pride. Monica soon joined Maxwell in his small but brilliant tech lab. Together, they worked day and night to launch a device designed to bring educational tools to children in Africa's poorest communities. Chief Williams, proud beyond words, funded the project, and in an emotional press conference, Maxwell Tech and Williams Oil and Gas announced the joint venture, Future First Africa. Within months, countries like Ghana, Kenya, and Rwanda signed on. Tech companies called awards poured in. But for Monica and Maxwell, the biggest win wasn't the millions, it was the mission, the love, and the peace. But just as things felt perfect, a call came in. Monica picked it up, her smile slowly fading. Maxwell walked in. "Everything okay?" She looked at him, troubled. "That was from my father's lawyer." "What happened?" Monica swallowed hard. "There's been a leak. Someone is trying to blackmail my father, and they say I'm the reason." Maxwell's face dropped. "What do you mean?" She turned toward the window, watching the city lights. I think someone followed me during my undercover time and they about to destroy everything we've built. Maxwell stepped closer. We'll fight it together. But Monica's voice dropped. No, Max, this time I think it's personal. The mansion was no longer calm. What had once been a home filled with joy and celebration now simmered with silent tension. Monica stared at the large screen in her father's private office. It displayed a blurry photo, her dressed in her waitress uniform cleaning the floors of Ardenar's restaurant. Another photo followed. Monica crouched behind the kitchen counter, her hair messy, her hands burned from a hot tray. And then the final blow, a video clip of Monica being slapped and harassed by the three men, the audio painfully clear. Their crude laughter, her silence, Madame Madana's harsh voice. It was all there, everything. A deep voice cut through the tension. They sent this to me anonymously, Chief Williams said, arms crossed, voice controlled, but furious. And they said, if I don't wire 50 million naira to an offshore account within 48 hours, Monica's mouth went dry. They want to ruin the company. They want to shame us. No, her father replied grimly. They want to destroy you, Monica. You are the heirs. They want to make you look like the victim of your own family's cruelty. Maxwell paced beside them, fists clenched. This is insane. Who would do this? I have a feeling, Monica whispered. Someone must have followed me during my time at the restaurant. Someone who knew I wasn't just any girl. Chief Williams pulled out an envelope and tossed it on the table. Inside were stills from CCTV footage taken near the restaurant over several weeks. Someone had been tailing her, wearing caps, changing clothes, blending in. But one face showed too clearly. Jonathan, one of the three young men who had humiliated her. You're telling me Jonathan had the nerve to spy on you? Maxwell asked, stunned. Monica nodded slowly. It makes sense. He worked for Williams Oil and Gas. He must have recognized me somewhere. Or maybe he got suspicious after our encounter. Her father stood up. I want him found. Now that evening, Monica sat in a downtown cafe, dressed in a hoodie and dark sunglasses. She held her phone tightly, her face cold but composed. Across the table, Maxwell sat with a laptop, watching live footage from a security drone positioned 2 streets away. They had leaked word through a dummy email account, pretending Monica was scared and willing to pay the money in person. At exactly 6:42 p.m., Jonathan walked into the cafe. No cap, no disguise, just a smug face and a phone in his hand. He walked over, slid into the seat across from her, and leaned in. You're braver than I thought, he sneered. Meeting me here. Monica didn't flinch. You're dumber than I thought. Risking your career, your life. Jonathan smirked. Career, that's gone, thanks to you. You humiliated us. Do you think people forget being dragged out like criminals? I lost everything. So, your plan is to destroy mine? Monica asked. Oh, sweet Monica, he said, almost laughing. You're not the only one with connections. Someone higher up is helping me. Someone inside Williams Oil and Gas wants your father gone. You're just the beginning. Maxwell's voice crackled in her earpiece. Monica, don't react. Just hold him talking. The police are 3 minutes away. She steadied her breath. So, who is this person helping you? Jonathan chuckled, his eyes gleaming. Oh, come on. You think I'd tell you just like that? But then he leaned closer and whispered, you know the name Monica. We all do. He's been watching you since you were 16. Suddenly, Monica froze. A name flickered through her memory. A former executive her father fired years ago for financial misconduct. A man who once tried to partner with her father and was humiliated in front of the board when the deal fell apart. A man whose own son, no. Monica's eyes widened. You mean Mr. Dloddy? Jonathan smirked. I didn't say anything. And just then, police burst in. The cafe doors burst open. Jonathan tried to run, but 2 plainclothes officers tackled him to the ground. It was over. Back at the mansion, Monica's parents listened carefully as she explained what Jonathan had revealed. Mr. Danlady is back, Chief Williams muttered, pacing. I knew he'd try something someday, but I didn't expect this level of cunning. Monica looked shaken. He was always too ambitious and bitter. When you fired him, didn't he say something like, your daughter will one day pay for your arrogance? Her father nodded. That day was 11 years ago. Maxwell asked quietly, but why now? Her mother responded, because Monica is finally being seen in public again after years of staying quiet. She's suddenly active, running campaigns, launching new projects. She's visible again, and he wants to destroy her image before she can rise. Chief Williams added. The next morning, newspapers carried a different story. Hero Waitress turned catcher's corporate blackmailer. The public was in awe, but inside the walls of an empty skyscraper in Lagos, a man in a grey suit watched the headlines.